Man, gather round. OG Silverback here. And today, I have the exact pleasure of introducing my new friend Lucky from Laughing with Lucky. And we're going to go over beast mode living called by having a savage mindset. Hey, Lucky, how's it going?
Going good. How are you doing?
Hey, man, it's going great when I get to talk to you, man. I like talking to you offline. Now we get to interview, man. I'm excited.
Me too. It is very exciting. Thank you so much for having me on.
No, you're welcome. Thanks for taking the time because I know you're not a morning person. But hey, for my viewers that don't know you, can you tell them your name and about your YouTube channel and all this stuff, bro?
Yes. My name is Lucky. It's a nickname that I actually got from when I was incarcerated. So the channel, I named it Laughing with Lucky, kind of like a play on humor because, you know, we're talking about being gay in prison and the madness that goes with it. But I try to be like a humorous type of person, like a nonchalant type of person. So that's where the name Laughing with Lucky came from.
Okay, great. Hey, so can you tell the people on YouTube how we met?
Well, we met in the comment section of a few of my videos. I had seen your name and I knew that when I first had seen your name and your face popped up, I went and saw, looked at a couple of your videos, and I did recognize you from a video that I had seen like a year prior, speaking on Chocolate Thunder, this dude from prison.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that I thought was so funny that you said in that interview was the guy was like, "Hey, yo, I'm trying to go up in your butthole," or something like that.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Right.
Like, I mean, I'm used to people like they don't even say nothing like that to me. They just literally would just like pop out there, like pop themselves out and just wonder if I'm gonna take the bait or not. Like, I mean, people are really aggressive in prison. You know, it's wild, actually.
Hey, I'm glad you said that because I got a video on my channel where I went to the restroom. I went to Narcotics Anonymous at level 3 prison, and this 7-foot professional kickboxer comes in the bathroom. I'm taking a piss, and in prison, the agreement is if there's some urinals, like say there's a urinal here, you don't stand in the urinal here and piss. You go to this urinal. And this dude stood next to me, fucking pissing and shit. And then when I got done pissing, washing my hands, he turns around and goes, "Hey man, why don't you suck it?" And then I'm not going to spoil it for you, but I want you to go to my channel and watch that video. But the whole thing is, I found your channel because I saw an interview, I saw a reaction video you did to the interview I did with Big Herc, and so I looked at your commentary and I liked your honesty. You know, you just was keeping it real, man, and you just telling your story. So then I reached out to you like, "Hey, I like your realness and your honesty. I like the interview on my channel." That's, you know, so I hit you up and you agreed. So now here we are.
Yeah, and I really appreciate it. This is the first time. I was telling you before that you're the first person in the prison community that has even acknowledged me, like seriously, you know. And I've had a lot of different people in the comment section say, "Oh, you should see about hooking up with Lockdown 23-1 because he interviews a lot of people, and I bet that he would love having you on." I actually did. I hate when I get like people suggesting that to me because I've reached out to just them two, actually, the After Prison Show dude and Lockdown 23-1. Big Herc, I never even thought really to reach out to him. And then after I had seen that video I told you about where he was, you know, calling gay people like punks and gumps and stuff like that. And it just kind of like offended me because I felt like, I don't know, you know, I felt like he seems to me the type that probably has a few skeletons in the closet. So I just didn't respect the fact that he, you know, spoke kind of like, you know what I mean? Like rude like that, you know?
Yeah, like derogatory.
Yeah, derogatory. That's the word. I know it's early. I'm sorry. I got my
No, it's cool. Hey, no, we in this together, man. So when you reached out to Lockdown 23-1 and the After Prison Show, what was their response?
Nothing.
Okay, so why do you think that is? Why do you think that is?
I mean, personally, I think that they don't want to associate with, you know, a gay person talking about prison.
Okay.
Okay. I think that they might think that it's too threatening for them to interact with or even acknowledge someone who's gay from prison, because I guess people will assume whatever. But I think that doesn't make any sense to me, because frankly, I think, you know, I might have actually maybe even been able to help them. I mean, depend upon the type of video that you do or something, just because that is definitely a big, like, scandalous area. Gay people and what goes on between guys in prison and stuff. And then of course, like the queens. And then it could even do with some of their videos. I think they may have kind of tried to say that the gay people in prison are like alienated, or they're victims of some kind, or picked on or something. And I don't know, maybe they just felt like I shared too much of what actually goes on between most guys in prison and gay guys, at least the guys that interact with the gay guys, you know what I'm saying? You know, and maybe they just didn't want, I don't know, just didn't want to address it at all. I think it's strange. It didn't make sense to me.
Well, I really appreciate you sharing your input, and I'm going to give you mine, because I've reached out to every prison channel on YouTube because I believe in collaboration. Like, I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to get paid, Lucky. Like, I'm telling everybody, I'm on here to get paid for my stories, right? No, so I reached out to every prison channel you can imagine. Only 3 dudes hit me back. And here's why, Lucky. Because when you go to my channel, I'll be telling dudes I'm mixed, unaffiliated. I'm not from this state. And dudes is trying to go up in my butthole. And everybody's like, oh, man, dudes don't have sex in prison with other men. And you making that up. And you lying and you capping. And I'm like, man, shut the fuck up, man. If you never been to prison in another state, bro, you don't know what the fuck is going on. Because if a dude's got 5 years or more, he's got a hard boner, bro, he's going to release that shit. So that's why the other prison channels don't want to fucking interview me, bro. You know what I mean? So I'm just letting you know, they want to skirt the gay thing under the carpet, because they don't want to tarnish their masculinity. Like, yeah, Holmes, when I was in the pen, Holmes, you know, I just beat my meat, Holmes. I didn't have sex with nobody, Holmes. You know, I'm just a rider, Holmes. Yeah, dog. You know, when I was in the pen, dog, shit, dog, I didn't have no sex with no gay dudes, dog. No, dog. Hey, man, me either, man. Like, woods don't roll like that, dog. So I'm like, you know what I mean? Anyway, yeah, everybody says that, but that's why I got you on my channel, because I want to expose the truth. Because, Lucky, I'm gonna tell you something, man. I'm moving away from this whole prison fake liar bullshit, motherfucking scandalous people, because they don't want to admit the fact that dudes have sex with gay dudes in prison. It's like rampant, right? I'm sorry, I get all excited. Let me calm down for you. Sorry about that, Lucky. I got to take my meds. Hey, but I got a question, man. So, do shot callers have sex with gay sex, man, in prison in your experience?
Yeah, they're actually like the main people that pursue gay people. Do you know, when I got in, I was actually talking with this guy, and I had all these questions because I was in the cell with this transgender female, and he was like across the yard, right? Me and her are in a cell together, and he's across the yard. He's given her commissary. He bought her a new pair of sneakers, even though she didn't need it. He bought her like a sweatsuit because it was September, you know what I'm saying? So it was like getting ready to become winter. And he was like, oh, I want to make sure that you're not going to be cold or anything like that. She didn't need it. He used to give her party favors, you know, like different things, you know, that you can be tripping on in there. And I just kind of was surprised. I was green at this time. Like, I had just came into the system. I really didn't know how things are. And as a gay person, I just felt like it's in my best interest to keep to myself. Don't speak to anybody because I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable. And that's something that is one of the reasons why I actually talk about this stuff on my channel all the time, because it infuriated me how people flip it. Like, they try to make it seem like it's like gay people that come at the guys all the time. It is the guys that are coming at the gay people, because most gay people, at least initially, when you're in the system, you tend to feel the way that I did, that it's like you should just stay in your own lane. And it's the guys that usually pursue like the homosexuals. Anyway, because this dude was doing all that for her, later at some point I was moved around because I had a hard time just getting settled when I first got into the system. And I ended up on that side of the yard. And he was talking to me, but I could tell he wasn't really interested in me in the same way that he was her, because he likes the queens that have breasts, and I don't. And also I used to kind of like confuse a lot of people because I had a mustache. That was a big thing. Like the whole time that I was in there, everybody was always asking me, why do you have a mustache? Why do you have a mustache? Like, you know, it's weird. But I started asking him, well, how come you did all of these things for her and she never, like, you know, messed around with you? And then also she was always saying, like, you know, y'all are just friends and everything. You was trying to pursue her. And he explained, he's like, well, you have to understand, I'm in competition with other guys. So I have to bring my A game. I always try to make sure to save up as much commissary as I can. And, you know, I have like bags of like laundry bags filled with commissary. I work, I hustle, and I stack money on my books and everything. This way, when one of y'all come around that I like, I'm trying to basically like outbid whoever else may be trying to like charm y'all. You know, I mean, like this, yeah, how he's speaking to me. And I was shocked. I was surprised. But then as time went on, I definitely saw it myself. Like the guys that had the most money or that had like the strongest reputation, they were the ones that were coming at like me or other queens the most, you know? And it wasn't even like, to my surprise, there was a lot of guys that they had a strong like reputation with whoever, you know, and they didn't care about letting people know that they were trying to get with, you know, get with me or one of us. But then there were even people that were in the closet, you know, gang members, like literally like high ranking gang members that were coming at me on the low, like what I just said to you at the beginning of this interview, whipping out their dick and just like, you know what I mean? I'd be stunned. And I was always scared to mess with the gang members because, you know, I'm not trying. I've met homosexuals where like they have scars on their face, they have missing teeth and stuff like that from just violent relationships that they had got in or messing around with the wrong people. And I told myself, like, there is no way that I'm leaving out of here. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, because fooling around with a gang member,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. Hey, but I'm glad you brought that up, Lucky, because I was gonna ask you, like, did they kind of do it on the low, like sneaky, like, hey, my man, if you ever need anything, let me know, or they just do it on the yard in front of everybody, the chow hall, like they don't give a shit, you know what I mean? Like, what was your experience? Both?
Yeah, both. Both is, there's not one that's like more common than the other. It's overwhelming actually. Like I kept a journal while I was in prison. And I used to write, okay, and at some point, I guess maybe to try to cope with the attention, I would like make a joke out of it. Like, oh my gosh, we're like the celebrities of the compound. You know what I mean? I feel like the most talk, and I actually had a captain tell me this actually before, but I agree with what he said. He said that the people who bring it the most trouble on, like, you know, a compound are the gang members and the homosexuals. And I feel like the most talked about people are, and watched, I guess, are the gang members and the homosexuals. Like I really do think that, you know.
Hey,
and,
but let me add this to you, Lucky, just so you know, I kept a journal in prison as well, and I'm gonna sell mine on my Patreon, man, for $500 because I kept a journal to keep myself sane. No, because dude, and when I was in level 4 and level 3, I stayed in my cell, man. Now, people can call it PC, they can call it shoot, they can call it whatever they want. But I only went to the yard to lift weights, go to chow, go to religious services, and go to my job. That was it. I didn't go to the day room. I didn't socialize, I didn't talk to people. So to stay sane, I had to keep a journal. And it's really deep, my thoughts that I thought about in prison. So I just want to let you know, I kept a journal too. But here's another question I have for you. Like the shot callers that were getting at you, was it just one particular race or was it different races, or, you know what I mean? Like what, you know, cause I don't know how you roll. Like, I don't know if you'd be like, hey, I don't mess with black dudes, or I don't mess with white dudes, or I don't mess with Asian dudes. I don't know how you roll.
Well, to tell you the truth, actually, it was different races. But the most, like, I feel like predominant races, at least in Virginia's system, because I know you're from California, is Black people, sadly, is like the number one you know, group of people that is in prison. And then white guys, and the state facility that I first was at, in the cell with the transgender female, there were Spanish people, like the MS-13 gang. They weren't at the private facility that I ended up getting transferred to, but I actually tried to strategize when I first got in, because I didn't want to be bothered when I first got in. I didn't realize that you have to either become a slut or get with somebody if you're a gay person. You really honestly don't have a choice. Those are your options.
And why is that? Why is that, Lucky?
Because of the constant, relentless, like, you know, pursuing that you deal with daily, every single person that you interact with.
And from all different races, or just one particular race?
From all different races, for sure.
Wow.
But the most predominant, I would say, were the Black guys. And I'm cool with that. I love Black guys, but I was a little bit shaken to be kind of like pursued by criminals when I first got in there. You know, my charge, I was drinking and I had kicked an officer, you know what I'm saying? But it was like a repeated offense. It's like they, you know, I was like drinking a lot and just acting a mess. And they had tried to let me go back to school and, you know what I mean, give me probation and stuff. But then it's like I did it, acted a fool again, and I did some jail time, and then, you know, did it again. And then that's when I was like pretty much sent to prison. But I have not really engaged with people, you know, I'm saying, like, had, you know, killed people or stolen cars, robbed people, you know what I mean, like kidnapped people. It was definitely an adjustment. Like, anyway, so I just didn't want to be bothered by anyone. And I did used to tell people that I don't like Black guys, just only because that was the majority of the guys that were coming at me. So I thought, like, okay, well, if I can sort of like, you know, remove the larger portion, then hopefully that I can kind of get some peace. But then I was sort of like slammed by the white guys, because then they're thinking like, you know, oh, he likes white guys, you know. But yeah, definitely were a lot of shot callers like that would try to get with me.
Hey, but what about like Mexican dudes and Asian dudes, man? Did they try to get to you?
There weren't. I think I came across one Korean guy actually the entire time that I was locked up, and he did actually try to get with me, and he actually lost his mind. Yeah, it was really scary actually. He used to be getting high, tripping on like pills and marijuana, like, you know, I don't know, you know, what words I can say on this channel.
You can say whatever you want on my channel, man, because I don't give a shit.
And I always try to be like a little cautious.
No, it's cool. I appreciate that, but I'm a beast and a barbarian and a savage, man.
I did notice that when I've seen like your videos. I have noticed, I'm like, oh my gosh, like he's wild, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just tripped on like a lot of different things, and he eventually lost his mind, you know.
Hey, what about Mexican dudes? You ever have Mexican dudes get at you, man?
Yeah, I did. When I was at the state facility, again, they were mostly at that place, the state facility, and especially when they had learned that I spoke Spanish, because like an idiot, I used to think, you know, being in there was just like being in the streets. Like literally, some guy was walking past one time, and I just like greet him in Spanish, and he was so shaken that I had even spoke to him, let alone in Spanish. It just, the whole compound then knew, you know what I mean, like that, oh my gosh, this queen's this boy, whatever, you know what I mean, like they speak Spanish and stuff. So then yeah, I had guys coming at me on the low. But when I went to the private facility, it was predominantly Black guys that were there, and then that was mostly who came at me. And I did get with I actually called him my prison sugar daddy, you know. I did get with this guy that got me anything I wanted. Like literally every time I went to breakfast, lunch, and dinner chow, a CO or another kitchen worker or him himself would hand me a second tray. Like I would go and get my tray, and then sometimes either even before I sat down or like right after I sat down, somebody would give me an extra tray, sometimes like of the same tray that, you know, we just got, depending upon what it was. Or it'd be like extra stuff, like a tray filled with cakes with icing, or a tray filled with chicken, you know, whatever. And then every store day, you know, when commissary came, he would give me a bag full of commissary every single time.
Mm-hmm.
Plus we would tripping, you know, like, you know, and I wasn't paying for nothing. I wasn't even like doing anything with him yet at the time. You know, I mean,
Okay.
this was him trying to like
Yeah,
charm me.
pursue you. He was wooing you.
Yeah.
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 Hey, but check
And
this out, Lucky Man, because I'm about the monetization. We got to keep this one to 30 minutes. I'm going to get back with you for part 2. So stay tuned and I'll be right with you. Give me a second here.